Hey guys, Lucid, welcome back. We got a new turn now for Hinnom and turn 34 in Atlas Shrugged. I'm going to try at least for a little bit to just do my turns as they come up. What it will mean is probably I'm only going to be doing one an episode, so that's kind of the trade-off. But anyway, here we go. So if you recall, we had somebody get diseased, and that triggered us to cast Dark Knowledge on that site, or on that province, because we'd only site searched for death 1. We found a Well of Pestilence. Now, if you're real Jedi, if you kind of have to get unlucky for a commander to get diseased while you're on top of a province. But if you're moving guys around, you can find them. And if you hold tab, let's see. You hit W, it'll pop up who's diseased, and then I think if you hold tab, it'll show you what disease they have. If you're a real Jedi, every turn you can check your army to see if they get diseases, and that will trigger you as to potentially if you have a Well of Pestilence somewhere. So, kind of a cool little feature I didn't really know about. Somebody actually keyed me off on that. Kind of cool. Anyway, love that feature. Just found out about it the other day. So we have a Well of Pestilence. Let's take a quick look. Okay, we're going to go through sites. So we found Dark Knowledge, so that's site 1 for the turn. Found 2 sites, a Brigand Lair and a Red Forest. Brigand Lair doesn't really count since it sucks, so we'll just call this 1 site. So that's 2. And then 3 Tar Pits. And then 4 down here found Grove of Evergreens. So Tar Pits, though, Red Forest is a 2-gem site, and one of them is Nature, which is what we are alchemizing to get. And we went from 1 to 4 in a pretty short order, so we're no longer completely sucking on Nature. Also, we are about to get our first Jade Sorceress out, and she is going to site search everything. I think our first priority is going to be to have her site search the water. There's a few reasons for that. The main reason is if we sending a Nature 1 underwater, we can potentially get a fort. If we get a fort, that would be awesome, because we could potentially put a lab there, and then do like Voice of Tiamat on all this, and then eventually Theodoros' stuff. I think I'm definitely going to attack Theodoros. Not sure on the turn timing. Let's think real quick about... Well, let's go through the rest of the things. So there's a battle here inside the fort, and then we'll talk about timing for the Battle of Theodoros. His guys immediately rout. They don't even come in and attack. I'm not even sure. I feel like that's a bug, because this is just Castle PD. So don't really know what's happening there. Our little Banefire guys are going gangbusters. Let's see if he makes it off the field. If he dies of old age. I think you actually die if you are decayed and run, if you are a short-lived little dude. Events, we got some tax, got some more tax, we got a Skull Mentor, so all in all, very nice events here. We put the Skull Mentor on this guy. Our research is up to a respectable 400 a month. For turn 34, that is not great, but it's not bad. We are probably upper middle of the pack, if I had to guess. But we are probably not winning any research races at the moment. Though that can change as we get Construction 6, and we are now 1 turn away from it. I had to min-max a little bit and just barely get over the threshold. I had some mages who were going to do other things, but I set them to researching so we could just get over this threshold, because that is going to allow us to do Lightless Lanterns a turn sooner. Now that this fort is ours, we have a fair amount of unrest here. This guy is going to patrol down their unrest. This guy is going to blood hunt. This guy is going to search. Why did I put a Robe of the Sea on? Jesus Christ. What am I even doing? Keep my little things organized. Our Pretender is making a Skull Staff. He is now Death 2, so that gets us up to Death 3. Next turn, we will have Construction 6, and what that will mean is we will be able to make Robe of the Magi, but we won't have enough air gems. So, we'll be close, though. We'll be at, I think it's, what, 40 to make it? Pretty sure it's 40. Let me pause and check. Yeah, it's 40. So, we won't be there for a couple turns, but that's okay. We'll just hang tight. We'll do it turn after this. I'm sure we can have some other things for this guy to do. But with the Skull Staff, we will be in pretty good shape. There's also one other thing I want to cover. So we're doing reanimation. We got I don't know if this was our first round. These are the Long Dead we get. We get basically the little shitty human Long Dead everybody gets. And we get these guys. So let's look at them. With the Amulet of the Dead, you get a fair amount of these guys. You get 12, as opposed to... What does this give us? Yeah, Ritual Reanimation bonus 2. So I think we would have gotten 10, and we got basically an additional 2. Not bad, since this is only 3 death gems with the hammer. It will pay for itself reasonably quickly. It also makes you a little bit more mage turn efficient if you keep spamming these out over the long run. We have a death income now of 7, so we could afford to have 2 guys spamming this out continuously. And if you think about it, that is going to give us something which is terribly, terribly useful, which is Siege Chaff. And the human Long Dead are nothing to write home about, Siege Strength of 1. But these big guys, they have 20 strength, so A, they hit like freaking freight trains with 26. Like, this is going to kill elite troops. 13 attack is not bad. Pretty good defense, too. I mean, these guys are solid, right? And where's the guys with a lot of armor? 12 armor? I mean, these are good stat lines. Fire resistant, too. Pierce resistant. 20 hit points. Like, this is a solid troop. They're going to be kind of shitty in the water, but who cares? Most importantly, because they have 20 strength, they have a siege strength of 4. So, if we get on average 6 a turn, which I haven't run this for a lot of casts, maybe we got lucky, maybe we got unlucky, but let's assume it's close to 6. We will be getting 6 times 4, which is 24 siege strength from these guys, and then 6 of these guys, which is another 6. So basically, we'll be getting 30 siege strength of dudes per cast for 3 death gems. So that's like 10 siege strength per death gem, which is kind of ridiculous. Very good. So that's what we're going to be doing with our death gems for a little bit, and that will be very important because we need A, stuff to crack Theodorus' forts in general, but B, we need things specifically to crack his capital fort. And if we surprise him, we summon a Bane, who I think will be our commander. We already have the research for that. They won't be able to be picked off by little shitty things like a Mount King could. But, yeah, so if we have a Bane, and we move here, and he's like, oh god, there's a big... Or maybe to my capital. And he's like, oh god, there's a big undead force. We may, and I'll have to figure out the movement... we may be able to turn, like, completely snipe Theodorus' capital on the first turn of war, and he wouldn't even really expect it. You know, or I can position him here, move my Melkord on top, and pin down maybe 2 forts here, so he can't really respond, and then move the undead force over here, pop it, and then jump in. And if I just take his capital turn 1 of the engagement of Theodorus, he's in a big amount of trouble. Now, to make this happen, we're making another Amulet of the Dead here, and then we're going to put it on probably, you know, actually, why are we making this? We should make another Horate Shaman. We're going to put it on this guy, and this is going to be my little undead factory. And Micklin has a lot of troops here. We have a nap with him, but yeah, I think this will be our little undead production. It's not going to... It shouldn't scare Micklin too much, but basically we're going to use it to jump into Theodoros. It'll just hopefully make us not look weak to Micklin, because right now he has this enormous army here, which may think we're tasty. We do have some problems we're going to have to deal with Micklin. I think we'll be okay against the Aussies. But they do have magic weapons. And they hit pretty hard and they have kind of high MR. So I'm not totally sure how we'll do. They do have kind of low attack. So if we... I've actually... What I've done between last turn and this turn, though, is I have done... I don't want to spoil the surprise for you, and I'm not going to. But I've done some tests with the Melkort build I'm doing. And it's actually good enough it's going to be okay against Abyssia, too. I was thinking the Repel build wouldn't be that good against Abyssia, but it's actually still pretty good. But it's less good against Abyssia, because you're going to fail all the Repel checks. But we're going to have such phenomenal stats. We're going to be close to 30 for our attack and defense. Which means even after a big harass penalty, we're still going to be dodging a lot of the hits. But that's... The Repel build will work on these guys. It'll be less effective against the Aussies, especially on like a turn 1 attack with Divine Blessing. But hey, there's ways to deal with that. You know, we can have like a little cluster of dudes around our guys. Yeah, there's a bunch of ways. You know, we can put on critical gear, like, we can forge Iron Helms eventually, where... And we have a huge Earth income. So, yeah. There's ways to deal with the flying threat. The flying threat kind of sucks for being able to get through a buff cycle. He can also do some nips. There's a lot of things Micklin can do to stop a buff cycle, but there's a lot of things we can do so that that thing doesn't work. Like, bare minimum is we can just basically roll in with the Fluffer Mages having bodyguards, my guys having bodyguards, and yeah, I think just doing that will be in pretty freaking phenomenal shape. Because by the time he kills all the bodyguards, and yeah, okay, he kills my Fluffer Mages, so what? We're gonna just murder whoever he has. So, Micklin I think we're set up for, but Theodorus I think is gonna be just almost no contest. The only thing I'm worried about is it's kind of late. He's gonna probably be less than half population for all of his stuff, so... mostly I'm doing this because I don't... If I get big, I don't want to have somebody from the water raiding me. And also, I think I can take over this whole island, so maybe I kill Machaka too. I think Machaka's like right over here. I don't know, I have to be careful about that. He does have, early age Machaka has some pretty dope stuff for dealing with thugs. Basically, he's got these guys who have a Spirit Club, so A, it's magic, B, it's high damage, reasonably high attack. I don't know what his Bless is, but this also does 20 armor negating damage. Fatigue damage. It's reduced for large targets, but that's not really going to matter. The thing is, though, versus a Repel super combatant will be okay. Because it's only going to do effect on damage. And we shouldn't really be getting damaged. The only caveat to all of this is if we do get fatigued out, we're going to be in a heap load of trouble. Because getting fatigued out, yeah, we're going to get... basically, our defense score will drop and our attack score will drop, and then the whole Repel business won't work, and things will quickly come caving in. But I don't think that will be the case. I've updated my research priorities a little bit. We are going Construction 6, Alt 5, Enchantment 4. This is for anti-magic for a Theodorosian war. Also, I'll be able to do, and I didn't even think about this really, but I might, for my first one when they come out before I send them underwater, have them make a claim of pearls. And that can follow my first Theodorosian army around, as we just drop anti-magic on my Dawn Guard, and then they will be followed up by a probably small line of Horites, and a much bigger line of... Actually, it'll probably be a Horite army that takes all the land stuff. And it will be a mix of probably like a Melkort to break the PD, the army follows in behind it, camps on top of it, sieges it down, we send a Melkort in. Meanwhile, while we're sieging it down, which hopefully will take, no more than 2 turns, Melkorts will move and expand outward. Yeah. I think as I clearly am winning this war, I'm going to have to deal with Miklin. That's actually okay. The good thing about having this long nap with Abyssia is he basically covers a huge flank, so I can really only be ganged up on by 2 players now. Yeah. And Miklin, it's not a great matchup, but I'll murder the Jaguar Warriors. Jaguar Warriors versus a Repel build are basically just auto-delete. The Aussies are the Aussies and the Eagle Warriors are the only kind of problem. And the Eagle Warriors aren't really that big of a problem. I don't think. This is a little bit theory crafty, but they have shitty magic resistance, so they're all gonna fall in and then get wrecked by my Bind Shield. And they're gonna have low attack and defense, so Repel, they're never gonna hit. Yeah, anyway. Actually, let's go back. Do I have a turn? Let's go back to turn 33. Where I think they have the battle. Yeah. Let's just look at these guys once they get buffed up. Yeah, so these guys, they have really shitty defense. Which is not going to matter, though, because of the repel check. But they've got pretty high attack. And with 3 attacks, they'll get my harass down. Yeah, the Aussies are going to be problems. They're going to be problems. On one hand, a strong argument can be made for going after Miklin before he... Because Miklin goes through kind of a transition. In the early game, they're kind of like a few sacreds from their capital. In the mid-game, they're cranking out a bunch of Jaguar Warriors and then a few Aussies. In the late mid-game and early late game, they are cranking out tons of Aussies, and Aussies become kind of the primary part of their army. That I'm not very excited about. The other problem with Aussies is they're demons, so he can buff up the damage 4 more pretty easily with Bloodlust. I'll have to do some tests, actually. And I'll probably do those in not terribly long. But, I think I do want to kill him before he switches to being primarily an Aussie power. Yeah, that may be the better idea. I'll have to think on it. Either way, I don't think it's going to change too much of what I'm currently doing. I'm still going to build up Dawn Guard. I'm still going to build up skeletons, because I am going to need to break down forts. And then... God, I would love to disrupt his blood hunting. So, yeah, and I think I went through a lot of the gear I was going to do last turn. So, in terms of what's being done this turn, we're doing our last salvo of Alquils. After this, we'll have Construction 6. And I'm not really going to make more Alquils. I'll be using air gems for other things, mostly. Yeah. So, we're making another pair of Earth Boots. I need to forge another hammer, and both of my Earth Boots are outside searching. So, which is kind of a meh use, but I'm saving Earth Gems. And right now, mage turns are kind of cheap. But gems, and I've got a big stockpile, which is something you don't always really want. But we'll be able to make use of these. I can control globals. I've got a pretty good fire income. I've got a really good Earth income, which basically I think I can control Earthblood Deepwell. It would be really nice, Hello Hero, for you to come out. Any of my national heroes would be great. I've gotten super unlucky with that. When you take Luck 3, you have a pretty good chance of getting them kind of early. I can't remember if there's turn limits on when they can come, but it's a little annoying that they're not here yet. In terms of site searching, I don't think we have too much going on. We have these guys moving around, we have this guy going around. I think this guy's done. If we look at all my lands, I still have a fair amount of fire to do. Which actually, as I get more mages, I'll probably free up some of the fire guys to cast Augury once I have Thaumaturgy researched. Rather than sending them around, I might do that one manually. With remotes. So fire, we have a lot of work to do. Earth is pretty well covered. I've got, a few gaps, which are mostly like new provinces I've taken, like Belfields. And then the ocean provinces are all here. Ligria, where's that? This 4. So I've got a little bit of work left to do with newly taken provinces for Earth, but a lot of it's just going to be getting this up to 3. I definitely want all the Earth income I can get, so we are going to be sending people around with Earth Boots to site search up to 3. Astral, I still have a fair amount of gaps, so I'm going to be looking to fill all those up. This turn I need kind of every last mage researching, but after this I will probably be sending some of the Astral dudes around. I don't really have that many Astral. I need to make sure I'm recruiting more and I don't let the ones I have die. Like, here's one, and I've got 2 here. So we'll have to send them out site searching. If we look, let's just see where all of these things are that need site searching here. For Astral. The Astral ones, that one needs Astral, which we're searching here with this guy. This one's going to need Astral. This one's going to need Astral. And then the oceans. So, not super bad. But this is kind of a priority for me, getting all my my things site searched. And then, we're getting ready. I think... It's kind of weird talking about it, because I was really sure I want to attack Theodoros, but now that I'm thinking about it, Miquelin... Actually, I still think Theodoros. Because I think what's going to happen... I think Saramatia is going to get eaten by Abyssia. I mean, hopefully he can win. And he does have the tools to win. And honestly, he doesn't have far to go to Abyssia's capital, and if he caps Abyssia, Abyssia's going to be in such deep shit. Even if he can't siege the fort, if he just turns off cap production for a while, it's going to be bad, bad news. But Abyssia probably has a bunch of assassins, but, if Saramatia can deal with that, which is completely possible, it's going to be bad news for Abyssia. It's really the assassin threat. Now, if I eat Theodoros quickly, then I attack Miquelin, I think I'm going to be in good shape. And I think that's still the plan. The thing is, if my war with Theodoros drags out at all, it's going to be bad, because Miquelin's going to get more and more powerful as my next war. Yeah, and he's already got kind of a lot of Aussies. So, anyway, that's all part of the calculus, but I think right now it's still Theodoros. And, so Skullstaff, next turn we can use that to summon a Bane, and we can start using the Banes to use the Undead. I was thinking the Undead would be Patrol Chaff. One thing I could do, and this would be like really min-maxing, is use the big ones as Siege Chaff. Use the small ones as Patrol Chaff for blood hunting. It's probably the best use of this spell. These guys are going to be less likely to die in combat too. They are never healing, so they will kind of peter out after I've done hopefully a lot with them. But trying to think if there's anything else worth talking about. We're casting Dark Knowledge. We're making another Thistle Mace. We're making a Sanguine Dowsing Rod. In terms of recruitment, We're not getting any troops, really, except for the few Dawn Guard up here. Really, we're making Kohen here, a Shaman here, and a Kohen here. So we're really trying to get our blood economy going. We're making an Ami here. I think after I have... So let's figure out what we're going to do for blood hunting. This is going to be a blood hunting province. This is going to be a blood hunting province. This one, I'm probably going to get out of the blood hunting business pretty soon, and I'll switch blood hunting to here. And then we'll shuttle back and forth. So this army, which is patrolling, will probably move out here. Which, honestly, we could probably... Yeah, honestly, we should probably have this guy forge something while we patrol the last of the unrest down. He was blood hunting, so I still have enough research. Okay, checking. It's one of the famous things you can do is your research is fine, then you come in and like min-max something else in your turn, you totally hose it up. Rings of the Warrior or something will be good to have on hand for our repel build, so we'll go ahead and make one of those. And the next turn, he can come out here. But this will probably make it less likely that we have any unrest left here after this guy patrols. And as a result, we can kind of march over this way. So, that's kind of the plan. We're going to get this blood hunted, we're going to get this blood hunted, we're going to get this blood hunted. And then this one is also going to be a blood hunting province. You can see we've got 3 guys blood hunting it now, including a Melkort who's going to rake in a lot. If we do all of that, just that, only 4 provinces, we'll probably be at around like 60 blood income. And we'll get there pretty quick. And that's kind of like entry-level Blood Nation blood income, which honestly is all we're really going to need for a while. We're mostly going to be using it to make items. Yeah. And that's fine. That's totally fine. Ultimately, to make, this is also a potential site we can use to get the shed, or the seer, I forget what they're called. Yeah, the seer, which are probably our more useful ones rather than the lightning ones. Except, well, versus these guys, the lightning ones would be better. Versus these, we probably want the killy ones. But I don't think these are going to be good versus... I mean, they'll be okay against Abyssia, sort of. They're going to die too much. So I think, yeah, not really a priority, but we are going to need a place to kind of build up our Melkworts, because eventually we're going to have so many Melkworts, and we don't want them eating up all our population. So we need some province with 0 population that we're going to put them in. So it's probably here or here. This one seems a little safer to me. It's kind of more central. So it'll probably be here. And it's got a site too, which is worth protecting. And nobody really wants to attack the Melkwort province. So I think that's it. The other thing is we are attacking this throne. And I don't know what's here. If it's only troops, we'll kill it. If there's skelly spammers, there's a chance we'll die. A sizable chance. But whatever, it's just a fire Melkwort. Just kidding. We don't want him to die. But he's got really high defense. Unfortunately, he has heroic unequaled obesity, so he's going to fatigue out rather quickly. But he's got fire shield, right? So fire shield plus blessing. Blessing's going to mean he gets 1 reinvigoration, and then fire shield. Hopefully he can kill 100 human troops, regenerating 15 a turn. That's basically what I'm betting on. And he has fear too, so fear plus killing a bunch of the human troops. Yeah, and these are just shitty militia. They're probably going to all run, and then once they run, I think the skelly spam will turn off. If it doesn't, then we're in a bit of trouble. The worst case is there's a lot of skelly spammers here. We rout all the militia, but only after they've summoned a ton of skeletons. And if that happens, the total HP pool on the enemy side will not be low enough that it triggers the mages to run. because normally all the troops running would trigger the mages. But I think Fire Shield will kill through enough of the skeletons quickly enough, unless there's a really nasty contingent here, that will kill them too. So we'll go ahead and take it. This has been granted to me by Abyssia. I don't know if we'll claim it, but if we claim it, we will be an astral... I don't want to say superpower, but we have a lot of astral left to search. Like, we could easily find another 4 gems of astral. And if we get 4 gems plus the 4 from this throne, we're going to have a huge astral income. And that's going to make some pretty... And that's going to make for some pretty crazy stuff we can do. I mean, we will be able to mind hunt literally with the best of them. Yeah. Mind hunt would be... I'm trying to think what it would be good against. Certainly some Abyssian Raiders. Not Abyssian, some Mictlan Raiders, though Mictlan does have access to Astral Mages, I think. I'm not sure about all the ages, but I'm pretty sure in most... Yeah, the Moon Mage. Theodoros, it would kind of wreck, but like it would be good against their thugs and raiders. Abyssia, it will be good if I don't see heat, which actually Abyssia's it's going to be pretty good against. Especially in conjunction with things like Infernal Disease, because he's probably going to be, he has kind of weak priests he's going to be moving around with his army. And yeah, they will be target... He only has... His astrals are normally going to be staying in his forts. So any smaller army is probably going to be not accompanied by an astral mage. Anyway. So yeah, I have to think. We are going to wait on getting national heroes, but once we have national heroes, we'll go ahead and claim this, and we will be an astral superpower. So that will be really good. But anyway, I think probably next turn is going to be the timing for the war with Theodoros. We'll probably start it. Or maybe we'll wait one more turn. But we need to do it soon, because I want to do it before... We have to kill them before Mictlan gets big. So anyway, guys, sorry, a bit of a boring episode and that not much is happening, but I'm just telling you some of my theory crafting. And yeah, thanks, guys. Take care.